Assalamualaikum. So today's first video is about a recent net that I showed, which was a bridal net that I fell in love with and I bought, and I gave a glimpse of one of the colors, which was in cream. Now I promised that I was going to get the other colors and give you a glimpse of those colors as well. What I'm going to tell you is that having purchased this net in the gold, I was a little bit disappointed to actually discover that what they'd given with this net was not a match. And sometimes you only realize these things once you've purchased the fabric and you've taken it away from the shop, which if you're a distant buyer then can cause a lot of problems. And I think one of the things with trusted reviews is that you're putting your trust in somebody else's hands to guide you in what to buy and what is a good choice. And now I would be doing injustice if I was to tell you otherwise. So what I'm going to do is give you a few hints and tips on buying fabrics online and even buying out of town, and the kind of problems that you can face when you go and do that. Now gold color and cream color are two of my favorite colors. I do absolutely love these colors, and it is a beautiful net. Unfortunately though, unless you were making like a full suit out of something like this net, then is fine. But unfortunately with these are ready cut suits, so what you're getting is just the front piece for the kameez, and then they're providing you with this, which is no match. So if I was making a back of the kameez with this and the front of the kameez with that, I would not be happy, especially spending the kind of money that you're spending on these suits. They're £65 a suit, and I would not want to sell it to someone if they were not totally happy. Now what you can do is, if you wanted these bridal nets, you can request. They're about £30 per meter. They are expensive, £30–35 and even above. They are very heavily beaded, pearled and so on, and there is a lot of work on them. They are absolutely stunning. I mean, in English shops you would be paying a lot more than that. The silk with this is relatively cheaper, generally about £3 per meter. Whereas just silks alone, if you were going to somewhere like even a place like Oakmount Mills in Burnley, you're paying quite a lot. Now I absolutely do love this, but unfortunately because of that discrepancy with the matching, and I wouldn't be happy to sell it, I wouldn't be happy to recommend it. Always be very careful when you're buying fabrics like this, that you get to examine in the shop. Now I bought this, and there's a customer who's actually requested one of the colors and she wanted this as well, but I would not be happy sending out to a customer what I'm not happy with myself. Now the other color in this net is this rosy pink, rose color. Now with this one, again, the net itself is very pretty. The shading on the salwar is a bit lighter, which I'm not really overly thrilled about. And again, there is a difference in net. The quality of the net is different to the quality of the net that's used in here, even though the color wise is quite similar. Two things that I'm not happy with these suits. One, you would have a difficulty getting a scarf if you were making this here in the UK, and I do not like a net scarf. With a cream you wouldn't have a problem, but with any of these colors, unless you were sending it to Pakistan or somewhere. Now this particular customer has requested my tailors to requested address for my tailors to make this for her. And I wouldn't have a problem in that sense, because they are exceptionally good at matching and so on. They would match a pure chiffon dupatta, they would match a lining, even probably the silk, even a better match. So in regards to that, that's not too bad, but I wasn't overly thrilled. Apart from the cream is just absolutely gorgeous. I will give you a comparison with these of the cream as well. Now it was the cream that actually took my breath away, and it was a proper bridally suit with the cream. I will show you what the cream, in comparison to these, what the cream looks like. Now that's the rose pink, the gold, and the... Now with the cream, the advantage is that so the cream had its own beauty, as you can see. I'll give you a little bit of a closer up of what that cream looks like. It is a proper bridally look. Now, you know, like I know I can go crazy with this, especially when I looked at stuff like this. This is jamawar, which is a similar color, and then, you know, you put the jamawar on top of and it has its own expensive look and its own beauty. Again, you can, you know, it's like the more sugar you put in, the sweeter becomes the dish. It's like with any of them. If you were to use jamawar with these, then I suppose, you know, you would be adding to the price, but you will also be adding to the look as well. So these are just some of the ideas. I'm not, you know, because of the disappointment of the matchings with these two, I will be taking these back, and I would like the customer who has ordered the pink to actually reconsider. If she's happy with it, then I will send it off to her. If not, the net is available in yards as well. So as I mentioned, you know, the cut up suits, you normally get roughly about 1 meter of the net, the pearl net, and then you've got, I don't know, 3.5 4 meters of the plain net, which normally is supplied for dupatta and also for the back of the dress and the sleeves and so on. Depending on the style, personally I had it in mind to make a dress out of the cream, like a wedding type of dress. So that's something that as soon as I find time I will be doing. But with these, obviously it depends on your own designing sense and your own styling. You can buy these in the yard, but unfortunately finding the plain matchings with them in regards to plain net, I'm not pretty sure whether the supplier had the plain net with it as well. I did request to him that when you buy the net like this with the pearls, try to order plain net, because if you were making like a really wide gear dress, which I had a temptation to do, then I would use the plain net, because you're limited to the kind of styling you're going to do, and you can't really use a 30 pound 35 pound a yard net for like a full 10 yard gear or anything, because it would make you bankrupt unless you're extremely rich person and you want to go that extravagant. The other thing that normally restricts you with designing on fabrics like these is they are extremely difficult to sew, and you start cutting into it and the pearls start getting cut, and then you'd have to take certain amount off for you know, the sewing and the cutting and so on. So it actually you know, spoils it. I wouldn't want to put too much cutting into this, but the plain you can go mad on. So that's my ideas for these pearl suits. If you fancy, you know, it did come in a grey, it's come in a black, and then there is multiple of colours that you know, one of the stall holders is actually selling this in. So if anybody wants any, then you know what, I can post you the photos and I can request, but unfortunately you will need to confirm your order before I will have it cut and buy for you. So anyway, that's ideas for you. I know if somebody is designing a wedding dress, then you know what, don't wonder about. If you're designing a wedding dress, this is the colour and this is the beautiful net to design it in. He has got white, he's got so many other colours, and such a lovely, you know, array of nets, and oh, it almost wants me to make the multiple designs in for weddings, but unfortunately time restricts. I shall join you with a collection of summer suits coming soon, so take care and see you soon.